Happy Aloha Friday, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Mai Tais at Sunset. We've got a really exciting show for you today, and I guess let's go. Let's see what happens. I'm Tai.
Aloha, I'm Mai. Happy Aloha Friday. Happy weekend. I set the intention that we are going to share a lot of laughs, have a lot of fun, and share healing. And I want to apologize because last week I rushed to put out a new episode. But you know what? It worked out great because I was free to relax for Thanksgiving holiday. So it kind of worked out. I just want to say, like, I planned it that way, but I didn't because it was really, I had guests. My aunt and my uncle came from California, and they sort of, for a good week, and then she left and she came back. My whole schedule just got lost and crazy. So
I was just thinking you were rushing to record because you were like, I need to get another episode out for the holidays, and I was like, okay, that's fine. Like, but I already knew like you had released one, and then so I was like, why is she releasing another one? But you know what? It works out because we got lots to talk about this time around too, and actually our videos have been getting a lot of views thanks to you and your awesome headlines. Like, I'm like, what is happening? Did you happen to re-release the one that you released before, the She Got Robbed one? Because I got a notification from Spotify that it was re-released. It was really interesting. And then I guess Anchor also like sent me an email and was like, hey, guess what? We re-released your episode from last week. And I was like, oh, okay, well.
Yeah. Okay. So my dyslexia brain, I took it off and then I put it back on because I was like,
oh,
you know
okay.
what?
So it was like a re-release?
It was a re-release within like a few hours of being released the first time. But I
was
actually
like, I'm
had
losing
messed
my
up.
mind.
You're not. I did, and I absolutely apologize. It was also kind of a traumatic thing because, like, when we recorded that episode, in reality had just happened. We were just kind of reeling and processing, and I guess that was like awesome to just record that because I feel like we got a lot of information to hopefully help somebody else so that they don't experience the same thing.
Have you seen how big those wind turbines are up in North Shore?
Oh my goodness. So let's go back to Hawaii. So traveling with my aunt, she wanted to go drive around North Shore.
Oh, you saw them then.
So not only are they in one section where I've always known them to be kind of like closer to like Wailua side. You're heading out that way.
Yeah.
Now they've come further down the coast. And they're really close to the subdivisions and like neighborhoods and houses. And I was seeing it on the news, but I never took the drive out there to see how close it really was. And so not only did we see that, and there are so many, and it makes sense for Hawaii. We have a lot of trade winds. They're constantly blowing. In fact, because the wind turbines, there's so many of them, I think that we've actually shut down some old power plants, like because the wind is just making so much energy that they don't need
it is windy on the North Shore, and the east side of the island is very windy. Obviously, because it's called the windward side.
The windward side, that's where they put them. But it's dramatic. So I have beautiful video of all the wind turbines as we were driving along. I have that. Also, what I was really surprised, it's been, I want to say a couple of years, maybe 2 or 3, honestly, since I've driven along the North Shore. I just don't ever have a reason to go out there. It's a lot of gas to like do that drive. So it's not really practical in any way. Plus, I don't want to contribute to the amount of traffic that drives out there because it can be terrible. It's 1-lane roads and it's like 25 to 45 depending on where you are on it.
You know, every time we went out there, I made you get up early and go with me because I wanted to beat traffic, get a good parking spot, and then we would spend almost the whole day there, but leave before traffic. And we were always like going the opposite way of the huge lines in front of the Dole Plantation and out into Haleiwa. So I actually am really appreciative of my can-do attitude of like getting there early and just relaxing and enjoying because there's places to have breakfast. There's places to walk to. It's just comfortable, you know? So
yeah. And that was the way to do it. But, you know, when you're a tourist and you're here for just a limited amount of time, you're going to fit that in whenever you can. She showed up at my house. Yeah. Get ready. I'll wait. And I was like, okay.
Damn. You got like sucked in.
But she also wanted a tour guide. Yeah. So the
video you have is of you playing tourist.
I was in the back seat giving directions and being the tour guide. And then I recorded sideways. So I'm outside out of the passenger window. So you can see along the coast and on the inside too, where I was just filming stuff. So there's a lot of driving video. And I was really surprised by how much erosion. Again, I've been seeing it on the news. I mentioned it a few times back, a few episodes, how there was a house that fell in on North Shore, and to see how close the sand, the water is coming up against that road. Now, we know that that road during big surf and things like that, it will wash the road out. It'll flood it. And then you have to go around the other way. But funny, we got all the way to the end. We're ready to go through, get onto H2 on that side. And there was like a big accident.
Oh.
It was a big accident and the cars were just piling up. And I said, okay, these are our most likely options. We're going to wait here in this traffic and it's going to take a few hours for them to clear it up and then we'll be on our way. And we were stuck like by the pineapple fields. So there was not really anything to look at anymore. The sun was setting. It was beautiful. But my uncle decided it wasn't that long of a drive and he didn't mind going back the other way. So we turned it around. Went back down the coast to come.
You went the long way.
Twice.
Dang. Oh, God. Oh,
yeah, so we went from
I hope
like
you had
Kaneohe
shit.
all the way. We did stop at Starbucks on the way back. I opted not to get something because I was like, I don't know what's going to be waiting for us on the other end. By the time we had turned around, it was 4:30.
Wow. No, that's like that's the height of it. Oh my God.
That's the height of traffic. That's peak traffic time. It starts at around 3:30 and it took us 2 hours to get to one direction to get to that side of the coast. No, I mean, normally if you go early in the morning, you can do it in 45 minutes to an hour. You can get all the way around. Okay, not around, but you can get like all the way to the end of the coast and then onto the freeway and stuff. And then it'll take you another 15, 20 minutes to come back. But it took us 2 hours each way. And my uncle, who's from California, loves to drive. He says he loves to drive. He says he didn't mind going back the other way.
So what did you do in the car the whole time?
I took video. I took pictures. We did stop.
You did stuff.
We did a couple of stops. One was a really pretty beach in Hauula area that I really love. It's like one of the first stops, and it's a really pretty secluded beach. But we had just had a lot of rain, so the water was all brown, and it really looked like poo-poo water. And my uncle was like, well, would you go into this? And I'm like, oh, no, that's not clean. You don't go in that water. To him, it looked all right. And I'm like, your beach is in California. You don't go in that water either. Don't go in there. Oh, but what was really funny, lots of pine trees. So lots of the pine cones in the sand. So I actually have video of me walking so you could see how close these pine cones are to like stab your feet when you're walking on the sand.
Okay, well, I'm looking forward to the video. I mean, I miss the views. I miss the like being closer to nature. Like right now the weather is so terrible in Texas. Like it's been raining for 3 days and I was wondering why I felt like so gloomy and down. One, the gyms were closed, so I had nowhere to go. And then two, I was like, man, I feel really bummed right now. Like, what's going on? And then I looked outside and I was like, it's the freaking weather. Like, there's no sunshine.
Yeah, no sunshine.
So that's why I feel like a little down. And I was like, man, whew.
Yeah, I can't live someplace where it's going to rain all the time. Like, I think about like Seattle, right? They're famous for that. Yeah. And I couldn't do that. England, I think, is also supposedly cloudy often, quite most of the time. If I couldn't see the blue sky, I think I would freak out if I couldn't see blue sky at least once every few days. Yeah, so we went to that beach. My auntie, so funny, she didn't get out of the car. She stayed in the car. And that was like early on. And there was a sign there, high theft area. You know, every beach park. It almost felt like a warning as to what was coming later in the week for her. But I randomly picked up a pine cone and she goes, I was just about to ask you to go get me one. So I gave her a pine cone. I don't know what she did with it. I think she just played with it in the car, but I don't think you're allowed to take that to California. California is also an agricultural state. So you have to do that ag check with your luggage both ways.
Yes. People don't always realize that you have to do that both ways.
Yeah, you're going to have to go back in line if you didn't do it.
Make sure you get that sticker. So lots has happened since last time we spoke. I would like to share an accomplishment. I ran straight for 60 minutes today,
Wow, that's really good.
but I did something dumb.
Uh-oh.
And I usually like stretch and foam roll. Thank you, Leanna, for that tip.
Mm-hmm.
I posted not too long ago on my personal Facebook that I was running again and I was able to like do a 5K under 30 minutes, which is a really big accomplishment for me, especially only being like a month in of getting back into running. That means my body is resilient, I guess. And so after I foam rolled and stretched, actually Liana is a good friend of ours. We actually knew her paddling.
Through paddling, yep.
But she did reach out to me and she was like, "Hey, I'm a trainer. This is what you need to do." And I was like, "Cool." So I've been following her like tips, but ran, and then I usually get into the hot tub to like, I cool off, do my cool down, stretch, and then get in the hot tub to like, get the muscles like relaxed and everything.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, I had read somewhere, and I have witnessed people like get from the hot tub into the pool and then back to the hot tub, just to like, it's a good thing for your circulation apparently. But I did it and my whole foot muscle seized up.
Oh, ouch.
And I turned into a limping child. Like a big old baby. I could barely walk in the gym. So in front of the gym there's a Sprouts, and they're known for like almost being like a Whole Foods but cheaper, right?
Yeah.
So I hobble into the Sprouts and I go to the like medical section because I'm looking for like arnica gel,
Yeah.
and something for pain pretty much. And this guy looks at me and he's like chuckling a little bit and he's like, "Are you okay? Can I help you find something?" I was like, "I really hurt my foot. I really need like arnica gel or something to like relax." I don't like the smell of Bengay or Icy Hot. Like, I just can't do it. It reminds me too much of my military days and like how injured I was and like how sad.
Yeah.
So he goes, "Hey, actually right there we have a sample of this really great arnica gel and it works wonders for my knee." And he goes, and I was like, "Can I try it?" And he was like, "Yeah, that's fine." And so I literally took my shoes off.
Okay.
And I rubbed them on both of my feet, even though one of them hurt more. And then I put my shoe back on, and instantly my foot felt better already. Like I wasn't walking like.
Did it have the burning sensation? Like that icy hot?
No, nope. It doesn't have the smell. It doesn't have the grease. It worked.
Okay.
And so I bought a tube. It was very expensive, but I was like, if this works, it works. So I left. And then, of course, I got on the Aleve bandwagon because Aleve works wonders for me. And I put some more of that stuff on, and now my foot feels fine. So I would like to say in a span of about 2 hours, I was cured. But I will never, ever do the hot, cold method again because that was terrible. I know a lot of people do like ice baths and stuff, and that usually works out okay. But I'm not going to go from like 120 degree water to 68 degree water because it's freezing down here. So yeah.
Yeah, that's cold. I keep telling myself that my swimming pool, which is I keep complaining that it's cold. But I mean
it's kind of chilly there. It's like 74 and 68. I mean, that's a little chilly.
I know, and the pool doesn't warm up yet. I'm waiting for summer. So I have to do this whole psych myself up to get in there. But today, I was like running and I'm thinking that people like to chill themselves. And immerse themselves in ice baths. It's not exactly an ice bath, but it's cold enough. It's cold enough to shock my body and my system to be like, "What are you doing in here?" But I felt good that I got my run in also. I was very happy about that too because I didn't get to do it yesterday. Yesterday being Thanksgiving yesterday was Thanksgiving. I have a lot of video footage of all the kind of crazy things that we ate, which is not crazy at all. It was turkey and ham and gravy and stuffing and mashed potatoes. I had Hawaiian King's sweet rolls.
Of course you did.
This and a pumpkin pie. And all of this came from Zippy's. Zippy's restaurant. I know. I actually have a
Y'all didn't cook it all?
Oh, we had to heat it. Doesn't that count?
That's not cooking. It's not cooking.
Honest to God, after the past couple years, we haven't had like the big family Thanksgiving thing ever since the lockdown. So we just been doing like a small Zippy's family dinner, and it's been great. It's been absolutely great. It's not too much food. We had 9 people, and there is leftovers, but it's not ridiculous. Like when we cook, we're doing like super large turkey. We have 20 something people. And even I have to tell my mom, can you not make a whole lot of sides because it's just going to be too much for just us. And I don't want to eat the same thing for that many days in a row.
Right. No, I get you. Well, I actually really enjoyed Thanksgiving. I had a plethora of different types of food. A friend of mine had Friendsgiving too, so I was able to like go to her house and eat as well.
Nice.
So I feel like I got everything. And then as a surprise, because my mom knows I love pumpkin pie, she made me like little pumpkin pie tart sized ones so I can just
Oh,
eat them like gradually because I'm on this like super health kick right now.
yeah.
So, yeah, no, I mean, I got back in the gym today after 2 days of not doing anything and I felt way better. But then my foot thing kind of shocked me a little bit. But I was cured. So
You're cured, so it's fine.
I was cured. So now I'm good. I'm going to be back in the gym again tomorrow. But like I said, the weather's been really crappy.
Mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving, it rained. And then it cleared up a little bit, and then now it's like raining for 3 more days, and I'm just like, blah. And then it's the last weekend of Ren Fair, and I was supposed to go with some friends tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, tomorrow, and it's actually like storming, so we're going Sunday instead. So,
Continuing on my journey, we did stop at the Kahuku Sugar Mill, and my aunt was on the phone with my uncle who used to live on North Shore, but now he lives on the Big Island, her brother. And he said, "Hey, if you're going to Kahuku Sugar Mill, there's a place that has amazing banana bread." And I walk in the door, and it's like a bunch of little shops at Kahuku Sugar Mill. And one of the places, this cute little store, I think you can see this. They had like gelato ice cream, and they
oh,
were like, "What?"
yum.
This cute girl, she was so friendly. She's like, can you want to try some?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So she had me like try like a couple different flavors, and she was super sweet.
Mm,
Also, they did have this famous banana bread to try, and I have to say it was
yum.
amazing. It was like the best banana bread I've ever had. And I make a
Mm,
really good banana bread. And this one was like, it was 10 times better. It was really good.
that's
So
awesome.
I don't think I have a picture of that, but I have a picture of their banana bread. It was in there. And gelato, and they had all kinds of yummy, delicious things. Oh, and my aunt was so kind. She was staying near the Ala Moana. She was staying at the Ala Moana Hotel, and she could see the fireworks.
Oh, so she
So
recorded it?
she recorded it for us. So it's between the buildings. I might have to zoom in, see how it's between the buildings.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's cool, though. I'm
She didn't.
surprised. Are they doing that every night or just every other night? Or
This is
Friday
Friday,
nights?
just Friday night. So
Okay.
the Friday
Just
night,
Friday nights.
Hilton Hawaiian
That's
Village
not bad.
fireworks, they are back, and it's not bad footage, and it's kind of nice to see the buildings from her view.
Very cool. I like that.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Um, they also really wanted to see the most beautiful sunset, and my aunt was describing it to my uncle, and I'm going to show you. You're going to recognize it in a second. Over the Kaneohe Bay. Look at that.
Ooh. Now that's cool.
Yeah.
I
I mean, it
missed
was
that. Yeah.
spectacular. That's a Hawaii sunset for sure. So I will have that in our video, the most gorgeous
Uh-huh.
sunset. Of course, we went to Nico's. Nico's is always absolutely yummy. The
Did you go to
furikake
Nico's in
ahi.
Kailua or did you go to the one down in Honolulu?
We went to Kailua.
Mm, Kailua.
We went to Chinatown, and I found a brand new dim sum place. The food was amazing. It's called Sing Cheong Yon Bakery at 1027 Mauna Kea Street.
Mm-hmm.
The baked manapuas, the pastries. There's a
Yummy.
thing. I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but it's called wedding cake. It's not a
Yeah.
cake, and it's not for a wedding, but they have black
Oh.
sugar, coconut, local, melon, mochi, large local wedding cake, which my mother kind of described it to me like like a fruit cake, but it's in like a little cookie. It's got like this very thick pastry dough around it. They're flat. They're about the size of a biscuit, a cookie, something like that. And it's got a filling
Mm-hmm.
in it. It
Mm.
doesn't look, I don't even know why it's called wedding cake, but we didn't actually order the one that she thought that it was, because either it was sold out. We were kind of late in the day. You know, when you want to go get dim sum, you have to call super early ahead of time, because
Yeah.
once they sell out, they sell out.
It's true.
So walked all over Chinatown. So highly recommend. They were delicious. It's not Char Hansat, which closed and was the favorite amongst all of Oahu forever. But I'm glad that the family got to retire and, because they worked really hard to make that. As we were waiting in line, these people came
Mhm.
up to us. They said they had just gotten off the cruise and they had been there before and they always see a line out of this bakery. And
Mhm.
she wanted to know what it was. So I explained it and she goes, "Oh, so I said, it's dim sum. You just take it and go." My favorite is the pork hash, the manapua, what else did they do really good? They had so much stuff that was really good. I took pictures of all of it. There's video of it. It was like $80. Because we had so many people. Everybody wants to try everything. But it was good. Oh, what is it? Half Moon. I love Half Moon with all the
Half moon.
veggies and the
Yep.
chestnuts and so good. But yeah, we walked around Chinatown. I got miracle parking. You'd be so proud of me. I parked my mother's giant SUV, parallel
Miracle
parking,
parking, she said.
parallel parking on Mauna Kea Street. That's hard to
Wow.
do in the middle of the day. It's really hard to park in Chinatown.
Yeah, it
Um,
is.
I walked past a cookie shop. All they sold was almond cookies. They only sell almond cookies. I did not
I
get the
love
name.
almond cookies.
I did not get the name of it, but I asked them because they had this, and I have video of it. And I don't know why I didn't catch the title, the name, their sign it, in the video. But I asked the guy. I said, how often do you bake cookies?" They said they bake them every 2 days. They bake
Huh.
so much, and then they sell out. And when we got there, it was like the middle of day 2, and there wasn't that many left. So I'm like, okay, this is a good sign that this is a good cookie if that's all they do business selling.
Yeah.
So I have video of that. Where, oh my God. I bought sugarcane. I have not been watering it. I have to go check on it because my mother is so angry that I bought sugarcane and I wanted to grow sugarcane. She's like, it grows crazy. And of course, famously, the cane spiders love the sugarcane fields. But I'm like, I promise I'm not even going to grow that many. It's just going to be a few in a pot. It will not escape. Promise. Promise. It won't escape. Something that my aunt really wanted was tea leaf, ginger, all kinds of local plants.
Mhm.
And we do have them for sale in the airport. They're packaged with the approval of the agricultural checks and all of that. So you can buy these things to take home and plant. But she said there was a limited supply at the airport.
Mhm.
And we were thinking that you could find them at Target and Walmart and those kinds of places in like the Hawaii section of stuff you can buy and take home.
Mhm.
But she couldn't. She wasn't very successful at finding any. So I said, let's go stop at Ko'olau Farmers, which has 3 locations: Kailua, Kaneohe, and Honolulu. And they're a plant nursery. And sure enough, they had all of the plants and more. And this ginger is that she really loved this, and I bought it too. Well, I shouldn't say it, my mother bought it. It comes from the Himalayas. It's not even native to Hawaii. And where she
Wow.
lives
Okay.
up in Northern California, she's like, "Oh my God, it's going to do great where she lives." So I
Mm.
hope it does great where I live because it doesn't get that cold here. 71 degrees, 68, I think. I think it gets as low as 64.
Hmm.
Well, one of her favorite things to do when she's here is because she's in real estate, she loves to go drive around and see all the properties, neighborhoods, and things like that. So we spent a
Mhm.
lot of time, not only on North Shore Day, but we also drove around some really nice neighborhoods. Other than that, her favorite thing in Hawaii is the coconut haupia cake at Zippy's.
Yum.
And we went there after driving around. And it was kind of late. And apparently, the night that we went, they were sold out of dessert. Napoleon's Bakery and Zippy's was sold out of dessert. And they hadn't had any new cakes come in. And she was so
Mm.
sad because she's like, I'm leaving back to California. I need another piece of this coconut haupia cake. So the lady comes back later and she says, I just found the very last piece. hiding in the back. You are the luckiest person on the planet right now. And so she was so happy. She got her
Wow.
coconut halpia cake. So I have a picture of that. I have video of that. So that'll randomly be stuck in there. And then she really wanted, well, I really wanted, I was freezing cold and I really wanted saimin. So I said, why don't we just order saimin and your halpia cake? And I actually ordered a slice of chantilly cake, which is my favorite. The chantilly, though, chocolate chantilly cake in Hawaii is different than what you would know on the mainland. It's not a frosting, like a white frosting. It's a butter, sugar frosting. But it's so good.
Wow. You have talked about all the good things that we all need to discover when we go to Hawaii. Like, I didn't even know some of these bakeries even existed or these little treats. So I'm glad because I'm making a list because when I go to Hawaii, I'm going to be tackling all these little things. My mom and I were thinking about doing a cruise through the islands again, like, because it's enough time. Plus, she hasn't been to all the islands like I have. So it's like, that might be a fun trip to take too. So we're thinking about it. But
in the last video, we woke up early to go watch the sunrise, but then she couldn't leave without getting her coffee. So my mom was drip coffee. It was taking its time, and we couldn't leave the house until we filled up the to-go cup, and then we went to the beach, and that was the entire last video, was Kailua Beach in the morning.
Nice.
Sunrise. It was a few minutes after the sun had come up, but if you go that early, there is parking. But I turned around when I came back out of the beach trail that went down to the beach part, and you could see the parking lot was filling up. And that was only a half an hour after sunrise.
Thanks for the video. The audience and I are looking forward to taking a look at it. I saw little clips of it, but I'm looking forward to seeing all of it. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Mai Tais at Sunset. It's been really great being able to talk about all our fun things that have happened in the past week. It hasn't even been that long since our last episode, but it's all good. Be sure to check us out, maitaisatsunset.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and anywhere else you find your favorite podcasts.
And until we meet again, ahui ho!